So have you ever looked out at a massive, seemingly empty landscape and just kind of wondered what exactly is sleeping just a few inches beneath the surface? Well, today, in this explainer, we're diving into a concept that has literally obsessed explorers for centuries, the wildly tantalizing prospect of completely lost cities. We're going to take a sweeping, widescreen look at how our Earth actually hides its own past, keeping these incredible mysteries waiting right beneath our feet. Our source text really sets the stage perfectly with this massive idea. Discover the forgotten civilizations buried beneath deserts, jungles, and oceans. I mean, think about that for a second. It's telling us that history isn't just something sitting in a modern textbook, right? It's physically hidden away from us. It is locked tight inside the Earth's most unforgiving natural environments. And that brings us to a really compelling question. What actually lies buried beneath our world's most extreme environments? We usually look at these spaces as, just uninhabitable voids. But what if we shift our perspective? What if we imagine the incredible human triumphs and tragedies that have been completely swallowed by time? It suddenly turns these biomes from just geographical features into immense protective tombs for human history. To really wrap our heads around this, we're going to track through three main zones today: the deserts, the jungles, and the oceans. All right, let's start with the deserts. The desert is an absolute master of concealment. When our source talks about things being buried, it means completely concealed beneath incredibly heavy layers of landscape. These aren't just empty sand dunes. They are essentially giant natural vaults. The sand acts like this massive heavy blanket, completely locking away ancient architecture. It's wild to think that a once thriving metropolis can just become another silent dune in a vast sea of sand. Moving on from the arid heat, let's plunge into the shadows of the jungles. Now, it is absolutely fascinating to compare these two because the ancient world is hidden by exact opposite extremes here. You've got desert burial, where things are concealed by dry, shifting elements, and then you have jungle burial, where cities are entirely swallowed up by dense, living overgrowth. One is perfectly preserved by this barren dryness, and the other, it's actively consumed by aggressive, chaotic life, choked by roots and covered in thick moss. But both are just incredibly effective at erasing history. Finally, we have to talk about the oceans. The ocean is arguably the ultimate barrier to discovery. When you look at terrestrial burial, where things are trapped under earth, sand, or heavy roots, and compare it to submerged burial, it really puts things into perspective. Lost beneath vast, crushing bodies of water, in total darkness, under immense pressure, it just shows how intensely formidable the resting places of these forgotten civilizations truly are. Nature does not make it easy for us to find them. But, the sand, the canopy, the water, they all share one core mystery: the forgotten civilizations themselves. It's kind of mind-blowing to realize that humanity built so grandly and lived so richly in places that are, for us today, entirely unlivable. These aren't just fairy tales. Our source highlights them as the literal missing chapters of our shared human story. The extremes of our planet are just the quiet, patient keepers of those chapters. When we talk about the lost cities of the ancient world, we really have to pause and appreciate the sheer, massive scale of human history that's just missing from our current view. We walk around with these global satellite maps on our smartphones, and we kind of arrogantly think we have the whole globe figured out. But this whole concept reminds us that there are still massive structural ghosts out there, just waiting for the sand to shift or the deep-sea sonar to hit them right. So I want to leave you with this thought. What other forgotten civilizations remain completely undiscovered right beneath our feet? I mean, if entire sprawling cities can just vanish into the deserts, the jungles, and the oceans, what else is out there, just out of sight? History isn't finished being written, you guys. It's honestly just waiting to be unearthed. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer today, and definitely keep questioning what lies just beneath the surface.